can feel it down in my plums. When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in.
You're muted.
My wife
Muted.
said, no, Gabriel, leave.
I looked at it.
No.
I looked at it and I said,
I looked at it said mute, and I said, you know what? I'm powering through.
I'm in. Should I stop or should we just keep going? Fuck it.
keep going. I said, this mutes. I said, it blinks when it mutes. And I said, that's on mute. Let me continue to talk. Well, welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Robbie, and on this week's episode, it was International Film Week Part 3, and the winner was the 2023 legal drama Anatomy of a Fall. Anatomy of a Fall was written by Justine Triet and Arthur Harari, and directed by Justine Triet. I think that's her name. Anatomy of a Fall stars Sandra Hüller, Swann Arlaud, Milo Machado-Graner, Antoine Reinartz, Samuel Theis, Jehnny Beth, Camille Rutherford, and Messi the dog. Alongside me is the Cuz. Cuz, how we doing?
Merci, monsieur, last name redacted.
Wow.
That 3 years of high school French for you?
That's right.
That's right. The Duolingo during the pandemic. Good job. And alongside the Cuz and myself, good friend, co-host Ryan. Ryan, how we doing?
I don't think I could ever listen to PIMP ever again in my whole life.
Well, the Calypso version, look out, watch out.
Bobby, how you doing?
Good, you know, boys are 4-1. I'm looking like $1 million as always. What can go wrong?
No. Can't get any better than that, I don't think. Maybe a stand-up 49, but
Oh, also, sorry, it's the Niners, but the Pleasures 5-0, 5-0.
By the skin of their teeth.
Wait till they redo the calculations, and I'm 4-1.
Yeah, so like Robbie said, this is Let the Boys Watch. We typically watch movies that one or all of us haven't seen. Like this week we had a theme and we put it up for a vote, and you guys chose Anatomy of a Fall over City of God and A Separation, right? That was the third one. So if you want to pick the wrong one like our audience, feel free to join us on Instagram. I'm just kidding. Feel free to join us on Instagram at Let the Boys Watch Pod, and you can also email us maybe some ideas or thoughts on this film or any of the other films that we've done. I think we're just about at 150 episodes, I think. No, 130, something like that. Whatever. It's a lot of episodes. We've done a lot of films. Send us a message. You won't, but you should. But anywhere else can they do things that they won't do?
Yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube. Search for Let the Boys Watch Anatomy of a Fall, and click the subscribe button so you don't have to search for us every week. It'll show our newest episode will show up right on your home screen. Leave a comment, give us a thumbs up. It really helps. I mean, we could tell how much it helps because you guys do it so much. We've literally broken YouTube. Yeah, follow us on YouTube. Subscribe there. Please help us out. You won't regret it. Maybe you will. I don't fucking know.
We did pick up a couple this past week, so good for
Did we?
us. Yeah,
Nice.
couple. And also quick shout out to all the bots over in England, giving us a ton of downloads, us and Going Gray. Check us out over there. But yeah, thanks to the bots. Appreciate it. And also 011011111.
Oh, now you've done it.
Ah, we're fucked now. But yeah, Anatomy of a Fall. I believe Benny is the only one who has seen it, and it was his choice. And we'll get to shit. I forgot I got to do a recap. But we'll get to some segments. We'll do some plum scores, overall impressions, and we'll just kind of talk about the film. So again, send us a message. Let us know what you think about our opinions, right or wrong. We appreciate it either way. So before we get to all that stuff, it may have been a while since you've seen it. I think 2023 it came out, right? Is that what you
Yeah.
said?
Yep.
So it might have been a while. I know it won best screenplay, original screenplay, so it was fairly popular a couple of years ago. But anyway, so we're in the mountains in France, I think, and
France.
France, yeah. Uh, and we meet this family. They whatever seem okay. Where we start with the mom and a young student interviewing her. It's clear that she's a writer and maybe has some sort of fame. That this student would want to interview her, and then her husband clearly, I guess, doesn't like the fact that she's having a good time, so starts blaring an instrumental version of 50 Cent's PIMP. So that was fun. Um, the son goes out for a walk, comes back, and dad's on the ground, pool of blood. He's dead. Then we get into, all right, well, did he fall? Was there foul play? The wife or the mom gets accused. She goes through a trial. There's a whole bunch of, you know, mystery surrounding it. And we go to a trial where apparently in France you can just say whatever the fuck you want, and that's okay as long as you just say there's no evidence here. I'm just stating my opinion.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, it is throwing it out there. Yeah, maybe she pushed him. Um, And it turns out, I mean, she is acquitted, whether she did it or not. Maybe that'll be a debate for our show today, and something that you, similar to what Marge said, you kind of just decide on what you think the truth is. So I think that's pretty much it. Did I miss anything?
Nailed it, as always.
Fantastic.
As
Fantastic.
always, I'm always doing such a good job.
78 out of 10.
Let me tell you
Hey.
right now, somebody just needed a description to watch the movie. They're running to the TV right now.
They're putting it on Hulu immediately.
Please.
No, this isn't even, they're not even going to rent it. They're just going to buy it outright.
I want to cut. I want to cut a 10% each rental. Um, so I mean, I know we normally start with the streak himself, Mr. DiMaggio, but you are the one who saw it, so do you want to start?
Um, if you guys want me to, I will. Every time we have someone that hasn't watched it, I do kind of like hearing their thoughts first, just so they don't get tainted by someone that has seen it. So please, if either one of you want to go.
You can go, Ryan.
All right. If you weren't tired of hearing me talk, I'll keep going.
I love you. I love you.
So yeah, overall impressions, I liked it. I was intrigued. I didn't love it. There was parts during the film where I was kind of like a little bored. Um, but overall, like I kind of wanted to know like what was gonna happen. So it did keep my attention for the most part. I did really like some of the acting. I felt it was very realistic versus, other films. A couple of the actors, especially one in particular, I thought was fantastic. I don't want to spoil any favorite characters for later. Um, and I found the court proceedings very interesting, and I did kind of look it up, and apparently, like that's kind of how it goes. It might be a little jarring for an American viewer whether our justice system is whatever it is right now, who knows? But we're kind of used to a certain way of a court case proceeding. So it was very interesting to see that. But yeah, again, I liked it. Didn't love it, but was intrigued to see where it was going, and if we were gonna get it like a definitive answer on what happened, or you know what. So yeah, I mean, yeah, liked it, didn't love it.
Worth your time?
Um, yeah, I mean, 2.5 hours is it's a little long. It felt long. Sometimes 2.5 hours is like this, but this one felt long. But yeah, worth my time. I don't need to see it again, but I would say it was worth my time.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I would see it again because I know what happens. Even though the performances are great and everything like that. I really enjoyed it. I did. Again, my stance, no movie should be 2.5 hours. So I did think it was a little bit longer than it should have been. If you cut that down to half an hour, I think it would have been a perfect little spot for it. I did love the performances. I really couldn't find a bad performance in this movie. The direction was great. Some direction in the courtroom scenes I really loved. I loved the dialogue. It was crisp. It was so good, the dialogue. Courtroom scenes are fantastic. I just, again, it's just, I guess I felt like I was mad at the end because I wanted her to be guilty so bad. Um, but she wasn't, but I'm still thinking that she wasn't. We'll discuss that later. But I think that's what the theme is about. Like you don't really know anybody really. You don't know who they are. You perceive what you want to perceive. You assume what you want to assume, and I think that's what the movie was kind of getting at. Like, no, I'm not going to steal anything right now. I'll talk about it later. But again, I just like the way the movie unfolded. Um, I did catch myself when they were doing the court scene. It was like an hour and 24 left. I said, "What the fuck what more can we do here?" But I wasn't I wasn't bored after that. Like, but there it was a little bit too long. But I really, really, really enjoyed this movie.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. Yeah, you know what? I suggested this one. It was the first movie that popped into my head when we were talking about doing International Film Week again. And I put it out there and I was like, you know what? I might change this at some point. And then when we put it up for the poll and it was running away with it, I
It
was
smoked the other two.
it started off like 11-0-0 the votes. Um, when it won, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to watch this again. I really enjoyed it, but I know I remember it being long and I remember it being good, but I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this again. But honestly, 10-15 minutes into the movie, I was like all in again. And I was watching it from the like, let me really watch this and see if I can see something that tips the hand on like what exactly happened, knowing how it ends. But I loved watching it again. Like Robbie said, the dialogue is fantastic. Ryan, you said the performances fantastic. I love Sandra, I guess. I don't Sandra, probably more Sandra, but I love her as a character. I love the fact that she's German and she is German, like like just that stoic person. And it kind of almost shows you in the world where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't as a woman. Like she's criticized for being ice cold, but if she was the other way and dramatic and loud, she would, you're hysterical, you're this, you're that. So her as a character, like being put on trial, is very fascinating to see like what a double standard there is with women a lot of the times. Um, yeah, this is it for me. I love this movie. Like I don't want to get too much into the characters, like you said, Ryan, because um, there are some great performances to talk about, and I want to save that for our segment because I feel like we usually say everything we want to say and we get to the characters and we don't have anything to go off of. But I was so glad we watched this again. I really think it deserves all the plaudits that it gets. And yeah, not much else to say. We'll get into the meat and potatoes. Is really, did she do it? Did she not do it? And I'm excited to have that conversation with you guys.
Yeah, same. Curious what you guys think. Um, well, why don't we do some scores and then maybe let's have a conversation about what we think happened, and then we could do our segments because that wouldn't really fit in necessarily anywhere.
Okay.
Um, Joe, you want to start with your score since you watched it?
I don't want to go first with my
Oh,
score.
okay. Um,
Ryan, you go.
yeah, honestly, I'll probably be the lowest, I think. Um, but like I said, I did enjoy it. I don't think I loved it as much as you guys. I'm gonna go 8.2. Again,
Ooh,
very good performances. Yeah, that's a pretty high score. I realize why you guys like it, and it was, got a lot of praise. It's a good movie. I just was a little bored at points.
Same. I'm gonna dock it because it was way too long. Again, I don't know, but again, I feel like it's not a bias, but I feel like maybe sometimes we're only watching like really, really good international movies. So I'm like, man, some of these international movies just blow American movies out of the water, and they're so much better, and there's so much, dialogue is so good. It's very rarely where I'm watching a movie, you know, from the States, as they say, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I mean, Social Network, any Tarantino movie, stuff like that. But I don't know, it's few and far between. So all the international movies that I watched on my own or for this show, I've thoroughly enjoyed and probably gave some of my high scores. So for this, I'm going to give it a 9.4.
nice grade. I'm going 9.7. 9.7 on this one, and I was really
Boop, 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 boop.
going going in. I was like, I'm starting probably at 9.3, and it just like I said, because I was a little bit, I don't know, I thought that I wasn't going to enjoy it as much, and I think the amount that I enjoyed it the second time, it really put it over 9.5 for me, and approaching 10. Was a little too long at some points, but I went between like, oh, this is moving, and this didn't feel as long as it did. But I can understand why you guys are saying it's too long. But I'm gonna go 9.7 on it.
Love
Of
it.
course.
Love it.
All right. I guess we'll start here. Show of hands. Who thinks that she did it?
Oh, please.
Oh. So, Robbie, as the one person who thinks she did it, any specific reason, or is just a feeling, or what give us a little
Well,
explanation.
as a resident suicide expert, I really don't see him. First off, it's not a long fall. Uh, Second off, um, I don't really think that he's able to throw himself off like that and like land perfectly on the shed and cut his head open. The wound when I was analyzing the autopsy, the wound that was cut on his head looked like it was a blunt force trauma wound. Maybe they said it. I mean, another lady in the courtroom said that it was a suicide the way he fell and the way the blood splattered. But hey, listen, OJ got off, and I think that there's just something about her. I just think that that led to a fight. She went up there. She got pissed because the music playing so loud because he was probably jealous about that situation going on downstairs. And one thing led to another, and that was it. I mean, she's the whole thing about her sleeping during that music or taking a nap when that music was blasting. I don't believe it. Um, I think it was a perfect opportunity when Daniel and Snoop were out of the house to do something and get upset and yell at him. And then one thing led to another, and he fell off. I don't think he killed himself. As well as I don't think that what he told Daniel in the car going to the vet to, try and help Snoop, that was him telling Daniel, like basically like letting him know like he's gonna kill himself. I thought that was bullshit. That pissed me off because you're just assuming what somebody says.
Can I jump in real quick
Of course.
and give you one of the theories that people say online? Because Daniel narrates that, and it's his voice over the father, they believe that that conversation never happened. Like it's Daniel, like he
Putting
has
words
that
in his mouth.
conversation with Marge, where Marge, like Ryan said, that it's really not, you're not going to know what happened or not. It's what you believe happened, what do you believe happened? And I think that that was part of him explaining it to himself. And they said that like the device that they used of him being the one that actually said the words instead of the father, that he thinks that that conversation never even happened.
I didn't even think of it like that.
Possible.
Sure. That's the thing. Again, that thing that pissed me off. Not that it pissed me off because, that's what he remembered, right? Maybe it's like a Mandela effect or something like that. Maybe he remembered it, but it didn't really happen. So yeah, there's just, I don't know. There's just too much going on. I don't know why he recorded, the last couple of months of his life. That was kind of strange to me, things like that. Was he provoking her during that argument? Was he not? I don't know. But I think that's just a weird suicide uh, attempt to me. It doesn't align with all of a sudden he just jumps out the window. That's how he does it, and that's the day he does it. I don't know. I never got it. She was
Why
fantastic.
at that moment?
Yeah. Why at that moment all of a sudden? That's weird. She was fantastic. I hated her the entire movie. Not because she was just so good at what she was doing and she was fantastic in that part, but there's no way he jumped off. I know it's tight, the windows are tight, I get all that. Something happened.
Ryan, what
Yeah.
are your thoughts?
Well, quickly, so we don't think she did it. Benny, do you think it was a suicide or an accident?
I say Occam's razor it was an accident.
Agree. I think, because they say in the beginning, she's like, it was an accident, and the lawyer's just like, they're not gonna believe that shit. We're
Yeah.
going with the suicide angle. So like, again, both sides are just trying to prove possible death or possible homicide versus suicide. And I think it was actually an accident. A lot of you talk about things online. I saw a thing online where like one of the first scenes is the
The
ball
ball.
coming down the stairs, and people are saying like maybe he tripped on the ball or something. I don't know. Um, I I'm not really like strong in saying that I think it was an accident or a suicide. I would not be shocked if she actually did it. Um, I just felt that her performance indicated that she didn't. And I think I read that she played it that way, that she played it as being innocent.
And the director wouldn't tell her
The
if she
director
did it or
wouldn't
not.
tell her, right? So she didn't really technically know, but she played it from the angle of that she's innocent. So that's what I got, and I think maybe that's what the jury got as far as like her, I don't know, presentation of herself. I cannot, one thing I definitely thought about was like, imagine that happened to like, just, I can't even imagine what she would have been going through in that her husband died, whether again, she killed him, killed himself, or he fell and died. So you got either guilt or feeling terrible that your husband's dead, whether you were fighting with him or not, plus people accusing you of that, and then being possibly faced with jail and having your son taken away from you. So like, I can't even imagine what that's like. And I'm assuming a lot of people look guiltier than they actually are in court cases because they are under immense stress and whatever else they're feeling with all that going on. So I think, accident. I don't know. With no real strong convictions. Benny, what about you?
I think the thing that really seals it for me is the blood splatter. Um, because if she did it, the theory is she did it from the second floor
Right.
and off the balcony, not out of the top window. I don't think that fall would have killed him. And not only that, but the way that they said the blood splatter was is the fact that she had to have him leaning so far over the railing that was above his hips. So
Yeah.
the center of gravity, I don't think she would have gotten him that far over and still been able to hit him hard enough to do that much damage to his head and not flip over with him.
Yeah,
Or,
because wouldn't she have to like come down for the
yeah,
blood splatter to go down like that? If
yeah.
she hit him like this, blood's gonna. That's the other thing. Like,
There's no blood upstairs.
there's no
Like,
blood anywhere else.
yeah. So I think he fell out of the attic window somehow. I don't know how. It's hard, right? Because I don't. She said, and that's the thing. She said so many things that easily could have made her look bad. Like every time they brought up that he killed himself, she was like, "No, that's not who he was." And even in court, when why am I going to forget his name now? The lawyer,
Vincent?
yeah, Vincent goes on the whole thing like, let me give you the picture of what the last few months of this man's life looked like. And he goes to sit down and she's like, that wasn't him. That's not who he was. Um, the way she talks to Daniel in the beginning of the movie, she's like, just tell the truth, and that's gonna be, what clears us. I don't I think you would have at least tried to subtly push your son in a way
Manipulate him a little.
to be like, I didn't do it. But she doesn't even say, she never tells the son that she didn't do it. She says that she's not the monster, but that's after he gets the fight in the courtroom. She's like, I'm like, you're getting a snippet of the worst of us. When she talks to him in the beginning of the movie, she never like pushes him one way. She tells him to tell the truth. So I don't know. I just never got that feeling. I think that she's very honest. I think that she doesn't tell she when you talk to your friends about your significant other or even your family members, like, are you going to bring up fights? No, you're not. I mean, unless you're like a scumbag and like just like want to make your significant other look bad in front of people for no reason. I don't think that I think that we got the feeling that um she really loved him. And yeah, they fought, but it never got to the point where she wanted to like physically harm him. Like, yeah, she wanted to slap him in the moment. It was a big fight. I can't wait to talk about that scene later on. Um, it's the heat of the moment, but I don't think it ever would have gotten to the point where she wanted to actually kill him. So I don't know, man. It's crazy because like it makes you think about how many people get wrongfully convicted and how guilty you can make somebody look if you really have just one or two little things
Little
that
pieces.
completely change can change your viewpoint. Because that, yeah, if I don't know anything about those people and I haven't seen how they interact at home, like we get to see the conversations that are happening behind closed doors. If I'm just sitting in a courtroom and I hear that fight and then the next day he dies. Yeah, I don't know, and I don't think that she convinced the jury. I think it was Daniel's testimony at the end that would have flipped them. I think if it was up to the jury, they probably would have convicted her.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If you told me she did it, if that's how the movie ended, I would have been like, okay, she did it. But if you're leaving it up to me, I think it was an accident.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably true.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, and I'm sure we'll talk about that scene later. I was gonna bring something up, but we'll hold it. Well, should we just do scenes?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about more of this stuff as it comes
Yeah.
up. So
Yeah. Fuck it. Um, Favorite scenes. We starting
I'll,
with Benny or
I'll take it. I'll take it.
go ahead.
You give me the fight scene. It was fucking incredible. It was so good. I mean, if you've ever had like a real fight like that, where it's just like a lot of shit just coming out all at once, I thought it was so well done. Just the way that like, I think he's wrong in the fight, 100%, 150%. He pushed. A lot of the things that Sandra was saying was very, very true. And I don't think he liked hearing the truth in that situation. I think that he moved them. Like she said, everything that he did, he's the victim of himself. He's not the victim of everybody else around him. But yeah, I mean, just the acting in that scene was so friggin' good. It was like, I don't know, it felt real. It felt so real. Yeah, I could see why, like you said, this movie won awards, why she was up for awards. She was actually up for 2 awards because she was in the Zone of Interest too, and that was the same year. Um, yeah, that's a fantastic scene. I guess it's the climax of the movie. I mean, I feel like this movie had a couple of climaxes, um, but it's easily like you're just locked in, and it's a gripping scene.
It's a
Yeah,
good scene. That would have been my
agree.
pick.
And like Robbie brought up before about, and I think you kind of alluded to it too, like him like picking the fight. That's what it seemed like to me, maybe for the recording for this book project that because he kept saying stuff and she was like very calm and like was just kind of like answering his questions and was even at first like let's not like come on, let's not fight, like I love you, etc. Like, and he just kept pushing, and then all of a sudden she was just like, all right,
Yeah,
motherfucker, you want to do this, let's
yeah,
go, and just eviscerated him, and he did not like it.
yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not going to say I've been Samuel in some of those situations, but I definitely have where I just pushed it a little bit too far, and you get exactly what you deserved in that situation. And he did, he deserved it. And like, yeah, she fucking went for the jugular, but I don't know. I think he deserved in that situation.
Those fights are so tough because not that there's not coming back. If you're a type of person that doesn't forget or holds on things like that, like those harsh words in the moment don't go away. Maybe it goes away for some people, but I know for me, it's like, man, I know that's still here or here or maybe even right here. But it still stings, and it's just, and to say that I never been in a fight like that, I'd lie to you, and it sucks. But yeah, he kept on pushing and pushing and pushing, and then there's only so far you can go before somebody just kind of snaps and returns a favor. So what I liked most about the scene is like, again, like this whole movie, I feel like was just open to interpretation. So they show the whole thing, and then they don't show the fight. So all you hear is they're just audible and like who's hitting who's doing this. You don't know anything. Um, so again, another trick they played on you to just kind of interpret how you thought that fight ended, or what was going on. So I love that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just to the point where he pushes her till she snaps, and then he still has to come over the top of her and say like really hurtful shit at the end to really just like push it over the edge. Like you couldn't even, like, I mean, relationships when they get to that point, like you can't say like obviously don't do that, bro. Like you lost the fight, just let it go. But you're not thinking in your right mind at that spot. But he like really pushed it to the edge and really was like, well, yeah, I fucking lost, but I'm gonna hurt you on the way down as I take this L.
Right. And like, I'm just thinking about the fight, and I almost feel like it might be evidence towards against, I should say, of her killing him, because I almost feel like of the two parties, he would be more likely to try and either seek revenge or maybe kill himself because he got smoked in that fight. So the next day, like, yeah, he said a lot of hurtful shit, but I felt like she wouldn't have gotten pushed to murder because of that fight. I mean, we also don't know exactly what happened physically. I mean, she's claiming that what she threw a glass, slapped him, and then he grabbed her and kind of like pushed her, right? I don't think he like physically hit her. I don't remember.
No, he hit himself.
That's right, yes. So like I almost feel like it wouldn't be a catalyst for her to kill him, except unless she's just like, that's enough of this. I'm getting out, and this is the way I see out of it.
Yeah, but I feel like if that was the case, she would have snapped so much sooner in that fight.
Right.
Like she was
Probably.
like you said, she was like, hey, all right, let's not do this. Like,
Yeah.
it is, nothing's ever going to be completely symmetrical when it comes to taking care of a kid. To, all right, hey, listen, just so you know, like we meet on your ground on this, we meet in the middle when it comes to language. Then he keeps going, and then she's like, okay, now I'm really going to give it to you. He keeps going, then she really gives it to him. And she's like starts screaming at him like, this is all your fucking fault, like this is you're the victim. And then he comes with we get that last scene. So like she's very patient throughout that whole fight. Like you said, it doesn't make sense that, okay, I'm gonna kill him now.
Right.
Like you would think that fight, like if it's the fight the day before you kill somebody, you both just flew off the handle immediately and were like screaming and like hitting each other.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was very obnoxious to play that song during the
Oh,
interview.
Yeah.
That's grounds for killing somebody.
So did you get the feeling that she stole his work, or, and this is kind of like it's a little bit of a throwaway conversation here, but like he knew she was going to take the idea, right?
I
according to
think so.
her.
I think that I thought that she was stolen, but I feel like if he gave her the go ahead, or he gave her like, yeah, go ahead, use what you want to use it, and maybe he was just jealous that it actually turned into something for her and not him, and it was his original idea. That's what I think. I don't think she outright stole it from him.
But that too, like when Vincent is laying out like his final year or whatever, like you could see the kind of guy he was, like when he calls him a project man, and is like, he starts the book but doesn't finish it. He starts the renovations, but it's taking too long. He does all these things. I'm like, I can kind of see like him being that guy where like, and she knows that, so she's like, all right, well, he's not going to follow up on this idea. I'm going to use it. So
Yeah.
just wanted to have ask that question.
And she probably like she's not blameless either in a lot of ways. Like she probably does kind of exert her control over the relationship and over the family. And he probably was like, yeah, go ahead, use it. Like, just being a good husband or just being a nice person or whatever, but got jealous pretty quick after A, she turned it into a full novel, and B, got it published. So I'm sure like he may have given it to her, but may not have been happy about it. But I don't think like the other lawyer said that she plundered it like it was
Yeah.
pirate's booty.
I feel like too, like that relationship is like he makes all the big decisions, but she's the one that has to make them work. And like, and he's like, all right, we're moving to France. And like she's got to now figure out how this works for the family and how everything's gonna, actually make it work. Like he'll have all these big ideas, but she's the one that actually has to. And in a way, he doesn't like that she has that control. But if she doesn't take control of those situations, it's probably like fucking chaos in that house.
Yeah. How about they could have made this work? Not have your blind son's bedroom on the second fucking floor with a rope handrail on a steep stair when they have a bedroom that's a stupid office. What a bunch of morons.
Jerks.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Um, Robbie, would you like to go with favorite scenes?
Oh, you can go.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think the fight is everyone's. I'm gonna go with um I think I'll go with I guess the death scene ish, like just kind of meeting the whole crew and like going along with Daniel and Snoop on the walk, and then coming back and then being like, oh shit, it's a movie. This is the movie. Okay, because I mean I had a little bit of an idea going in, but I wasn't 100% sure that it was like about a murder or possible a death of some kind. So I'll go with that.
Now, I don't know which one to pick. I guess I'll just pick the opening courtroom scene, I feel like. Um, them just go like the prosecutor is just going at her and kind of just, making it not about the death, but making it more about her actual character and kind of, shitting on her character and making people who don't even know who she is kind of come to an assumption that she's a terrible person. So I enjoyed it. I don't know, I just thought the dialogue was so good in those courtroom scenes, and the way everybody acted was absolutely fantastic. So, I'd have to go with that. Maybe cut it in half and go with I think maybe the first time Daniel talks and they're just focusing on Daniel's face and once either one of the lawyers talk, he's just moving back and forth, and I really enjoyed that scene, just focusing on Daniel that whole entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The courtroom
So I took
scenes are
two.
great.
Oh, please forget about it. One of the best.
I mean, I think you're meant to hate the prosecutor. Again, I think, the process in the courtroom is much different than we're used to, but was so great. Dialogue was fantastic.
Sure, we'll talk more about him.
Probably. Maybe. Robbie, keep it rolling with least favorite scene.
Oh, please, please. It's nice and easy, nice and easy. There were so many emotions during the drugging of Snoop that I didn't know what was gonna go, what was gonna happen. It was so devastating. I felt so bad for Snoop. I was like, is fucking Daniel the killer? Is he like fucking faking that he's blind? So, so many emotions. I'm like, what's going on here? Um, it was just that was a tough scene to get through because that poor dog, who wasn't really doing much the entire movie, just loving everybody, and that was tough. I'm like, Daniel, I'm like, what's your fucking deal, dude? You're a
Doing?
psychopath. But I don't know. That was a tough scene that pissed me off.
How do they get the dog to act like that?
I don't know.
A lot of treats.
Some ecstasy.
Yeah, yeah. Um, nah, good. That would have been my choice. That was tough to watch. All right, I will go. Um, I forget when exactly it happened in the movie. It was like kind of like midway through the courtroom proceedings, but there was maybe it was before they broke for the weekend, but her and Vincent were like drinking at their house. Um, I have an mention already for that, but uh, I didn't like the vibe between the two of them, and I did read that they were supposed to be a love scene between them, and they cut it because they thought it was like kind of like too cliche. But I was getting that vibe during that conversation, and then I think he even says like that he was in love with her back
Yeah.
then. Um, I didn't like it. I didn't like 1 second of it, so I'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm glad that they cut that.
Yeah,
I didn't need that at all.
Yeah, I would have been annoyed if that happened.
yeah.
My least, I mean, it's hard to pick a least favorite scene when you give a movie a 9.7, and I really don't think there was a bad scene, but if anything, it just kind of seems like the out of nowhere um, psychic scene where Monica suggests that they go see a psychic. Like out of everything, I was like, what's that doesn't like come back later on at all? Just kind of, and Monica's in it for like that's like her one speaking scene, and then she's just kind of in the background in the other scenes. So I was kind of like a little bit kind of a throwaway and like fuck psychics. So
Call
Quick
me
question.
now.
Oh, go ahead.
call them in now.
Call me now.
For a read and quick question. Have either of you ever been to a psychic?
No.
No.
I want to go to one so bad because I just want to see what it's all about. And every time we're like driving or walking somewhere and I see one, I'm like, let's go. Come on, it's right here.
I want to just give them nothing because you know that like
Yeah.
I see the color black. You're like, I'm wearing a black shirt.
Oh my
What?
I
God.
know.
I want to go. Ani mentions for favorite or least favorite scene.
Go ahead. Go ahead, boys.
Um, quick Ani mention for least favorite scene. Um, and maybe I should have agreed with Robbie because of this scene, but so you get acquitted. Instead of going straight home to your son, who you love, you go out drinking with your friends. What a fucking idiot. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fine, you want to go to dinner, celebrate a little bit, but she stays out like fucking late. Like, what are you doing? Go home.
Yeah. I mean, you just kicked a murder charge. Like, I would kind of want drinks too, but I think they kind of explained it where Daniel and her at the end, they're both like, I was afraid for you to come home. And she was like, yeah, I was kind of afraid to come home too. But again, I was thinking the same thing, even though we get that little explanation. It's like, go see your son.
Yeah. Go drink at home.
Yeah. Or go check in and then go out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
Something.
Give him a call. I know she called Marge, but still.
I'll just go with Daniel's testimony at the end. So good. Such a lie. Such a fucking lie.
Even if
Um,
it is true, I think he was actually talking about the dog. I mean, maybe alluding a little bit to some feelings he had, but like those are conversations you have to have with your children about death, like that their pet is potentially going to die, or like their grandparents, or like somebody.
yeah, if that is the exact conversation they had, though, I feel like he was laying it on a little
A little
thick.
thick,
A
but
little thick.
he seemed like kind of
Um,
he was a little bitch.
but what does that mean though? Like I said, I don't think he killed himself. So even if he was laying it on thick, what does that really mean? Is he just being French? I don't know.
I think
Oh,
Daniel
but
was laying
they
it
are
on thick.
soft as dog shit.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I'll like I said, I'll go with the blood spatter. The two dueling theories. I mean, I think what nailed it for me is how sure the guy is about that she killed him, and just using very harsh language and like, yes, this is how it happened. It's very implausible it happened a different way. And then the one for
The defense.
the defense comes in, and she's very like, this is how it's very likely that it happened, and she's using that qualifying language. and you get the fucking prosecutor guy just like, oh, why are you using that language again? Like, it's like, how is this legal in a courtroom? Just be like, oh yeah, let me just throw this 2 cents in, like, just all the, and again, all the little things that he was throwing in at the end of like people would say something like, oh, it must be nice to think that way. Like, just like throwing in those like little shots at people. It's like, how is this part of how is this legal? But yeah, I really like the blood spatter and like, just the two different styles that they had and how they both fit, both the defense and the prosecutor. So uh just everything in the courtroom I thought was well done.
And like you're in the jury, and if I was in the jury and listening to the first one, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. The blood spatter like this. Okay, great. And then the next lady comes in, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So like, how am I
Yeah.
supposed to?
Yeah.
Um, any other Ani mentions for scenes?
It's kind of a joke, Ani Mensch, and it is what it is, but I hated how much they treated Daniel like he was like a full-blown adult in the court.
Yeah,
Like they were very like harsh and rigid with him about
yeah.
stuff. Like, and even
The
um
judge when they were doing the reenactment and stuff.
yeah,
Oh,
like
now you remember like
yeah,
that.
it's like, dude, he's a kid.
Yeah,
Um so yeah, that was just one of the things that stuck out to me that I was like, "Oh, come on, leave the kid alone."
yeah. Give him a fucking break. His father just died,
I
motherfucker.
know. You expect him to have perfect uh memory of everything.
Yeah. All right. Favorite characters? Anyone want to start or
Let
just
me go
keep it
last
rolling?
because I jumped all over that scene. So I'll go last on favorites.
Robbie, your choice.
Okay, perfect. I'll go Daniel.
So good.
I'll go
Perfect.
what's his name? I'm sorry. I got his name. Hold on, I got his name. It is Milo Machado Grainer. Um, my stance on kid actors. I hate their guts. I hate everything about them. I think they suck. But he was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal in this movie. I in the beginning I'm like, I'm not gonna like this kid. Like he's gonna serve no purpose. And I mean, some of the scenes that he was in was just phenomenal. I thought he was probably one of the best actors on screen, going toe to toe with these adults. Um, his little like talking with Marge when he wants the mother to go, and then he's crying and asking her to help him out. Um, the thing with the dog was tough, obviously, but I don't know, he was great. Every scene he was in, he brought so much emotion, and I was definitely shocked at how much I enjoyed his performance.
It seemed like too every scene he was in, he was better than the last one.
Yeah.
Like you said, he knocks it out of the park. Like you think that that's like the height of his performance when he does have that conversation with Marge, but then cut to the courtroom scene that ends it, and he's just like,
Crushes
I
it.
mean, yeah, 1,000 out of 10. He was so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Stronger. He was great. Um, you said you wanted to go last, Benny?
Yeah, I'll go last.
Um, there's a lot of good performances in this movie, but I'm gonna go with the dog because there's I've never seen a dog play dead or near dead that well ever. I don't know what that trainer did, but that dog was perfect.
Yeah.
He got
Shout
the
out Messy.
palm dog at Cannes.
Did he?
Shout
I think so.
Ah,
shout out Messi. His name is Messi,
Hmm,
the
I like him
actor.
less.
um, I mean, Sandra, easy pick for me. She's so good. I mean, just the range of emotion she plays in so many different scenes, the way she is in the courtroom explaining things, and how she has to bounce between languages all the time, and the way that it really feels like, I don't know if she is or isn't, but she feels like she's struggling with French at some points, and it's frustrating to her. And the emotion she does, like especially when she's in the car and she has that moment where it's like one of those, I'm just so upset that I start laughing, but then it goes into that breakdown that she has in the car. She's so good. She's incredible in this movie, from beginning to end. Just the fact that you can infer certain things from, you know, at one moment you're like, gosh, I think she's guilty, and then the next scene you're like, I don't think she is. So she's just so good in this. From like I said, and she carries the movie. As much as I'll give Daniel credit, and he's just a perfect 1A. She's just fantastic, and the fact that she had, I mean, I don't know what the filming schedules look like, but I would assume that the two movies that she was in, this and Zone of Interest, to be nominated highly for both of them in the space of 1 year is crazy. So shouts to her. I think she was fantastic.
Agree.
Yeah, same. Keep it rolling with least.
Oof. I'm gonna go with I want to say Monica. I'm gonna go with the actual judge though. I felt like she was so rigid in so many different ways that, you know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. Um, so I'll go with her, even though, like, again, there's anybody I pick, it's not because of their performance or I didn't like them in the movie. Everybody was just so good. So I'll just go with her, just kind of just throwing it out there.
Yeah,
She's tough.
good choice. I same with what you just said. Uh, my pick, he was so good as this character, but I hated his guts so much, and that's the prosecutor. I really wanted to tell Robbie to punch him in the face.
I wouldn't. I loved him so much. I would never dare to punch him in the face.
Never. Um, I, but you're right. He was so good in this movie as someone so hateable. And again, I've said it a number of times already, but I think it was also just the fact that it was a little different from what we're used to with either courtroom drama movies or just our alleged justice system at this point. Um, but he was just so condescending, and like the way he was saying things was just so very like, I know you did it, and like I'm just I don't know, everything. And like I think that's the way they're supposed to be, like where you're putting on this performance of like you're guilty and I'm proving it no matter what, whether I have evidence or not.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, fantastic performance, but I did hate his guts.
We touched on it a little bit, like just the way that the French uh trial process is, where I guess it feels kind of performative in a way. And he embodies that, and he's just so good. Like, I would legit mention, we have our, oh, he was my least favorite character, but he was so good. But he was actually so good that I couldn't name him as my least favorite character. But like I was saying before, just the digs he would throw in, like when he was talking to Sandra about the fight, and he's like, so, did the fights get like this a lot? And she's like, no, not really. And he's like, so this is just kind of, it just so happened to be that this is the one that was recorded. And she's like,
How
yes. And
convenient.
he's like, yeah, bad luck, I guess. And I
Yeah.
was like, you fucking dick. But he was so good. And like, watching it this time, knowing I was like, oh, I fucking hated this guy. Um, but is he just like really good at his job? And like, this is what the job is expected of him. And there's part of me too that was like, is part of this because she was German and not French? That it was like, this is like a slam
Could be.
dunk that she's coming in here and she killed one of our countrymen, that she got a little bit worse treatment in the courtroom.
Good point, because she makes the point during their fight that like she has to come into this town and everyone loves him, doesn't know who she is, and if she doesn't smile at one of them, they're like talking shit. So like,
Yeah.
not to say that the prosecutor necessarily knew him, but I bet Samuel had a reputation in that area of whatever it was, probably positive, I guess.
Being a bitch.
So yeah,
I love I love the prosecutor so much. He was so great. He was just whipping off dialogue like it wasn't even like it was just second nature. It was beautiful. I love this performance. And again, he's trying to get somebody convicted. he's weaving stories left and right. He's trying to just find damning evidence, kind of put her down and make everybody in the court see what kind of monster she is. Just, just a narrative, whether it's truth or not. He's trying to win that court case and put her in jail. And maybe
Right.
maybe some payback for World War II, but you never know. Like Benny said, you never know.
I think too, like you hear so many times when people talk about, and it's the movies, like what we know about the actual law system is like a prosecutor doesn't ask a question that he doesn't know the answer to. So even when he starts talking about the books and how she pulls from real life, and she's like, no, well, and she's like, oh, but your first book was about this, and then your second book was about that. And then how, so like, what are we to think when he reads from the book and it's like about the wife wanting to kill the husband? Like he just had comebacks to everything. And he was like, you know, whether he believed she did it or not, like you could never tell because
Doesn't
he
matter.
he he was just so prepared.
It's his job to get them to find her guilty, whether she was
Yeah.
or not. Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. It was like just watching a regular lawyer on TV or something like that. It was very natural.
He was a regular Judge Janine.
I was going to say Judge Joe Brown, Judge Steve Harvey.
Robbie Lee's favorite.
Simple and easy. Um, it's the psychiatrist. Um,
Yes.
just
Oh
very,
yeah, he was such a dick.
just such a dick. Like you, well, no, nobody's. I know that nobody's ever committed suicide that I know of. And that could be true, but you don't know people putting on an act. You see people, you know. I've known people like kill themselves. You see them that the day before, and they're the funnest person in the room, and they're this and that, and then the next day they're gone. So you don't know. It was very condescending the way he just thought that he was right because he didn't tell him that he was going to kill himself, or he didn't tell him that he was this way or that way. So very smug and very stupid because people can definitely play tricks on people to think that they're okay when they're 100% not okay.
And yeah, again, me coming in with my 0 medical degrees, but like how realistic is it to like preemptively put somebody on antidepressants?
Yeah.
Like what, like
As a
that's,
shield.
yeah, like that's your move, guy. And then you're like, he did or didn't have issues coming off of them. Like you don't think that probably had something to do with it? The fact that you just preemptively started prescribing drugs when I think he kind of said at some point, like, well, he wasn't depressive. Well, then what the
Yeah.
fuck you put him
Why'd you
on
put him on
drugs
drugs?
for?
That's an
So
American thing.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
taking that from us.
Yeah. Oh, you might be
Go,
sad someday. Have some drugs.
yeah. So yeah, he was so smarmy, man. Yeah, good call out on him. Yeah, he completely slipped my mind. That's a great pick.
Yeah.
No, I know he wouldn't kill himself. I know.
Yeah. I can tell what's true or not. Okay.
The hell out of here.
Yeah. Okay. Fucking emotional shield. Okay.
I need one of those.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, double
Let's
my
get some
dosage.
drugs. Any Ani Menches? Oh wait. Yeah, Ani Menches. For
For
either.
me, for me, it's Vincent. I mean, that fucking hair. That's the
Beautiful.
hair that I want. Just fantastic. Nicely, get the wave going. But no, I enjoyed his character. Again, he was somebody that you were like, does he believe her or not? And I think he kind of goes back and forth a few times in the movie. But I love at the end too. And I don't know if he was telling the truth or not, but he was like that, this is what we do when we win. And he's like, I don't know, we never won before. So um, but that's, I mean, look, as funny as I think that was, like, if that's true, like, does that kind of mean that she was innocent? Like, it was so obvious that she was innocent that even these shitty lawyers can win this case. Maybe it was just a joke, but it was something that made me think this time watching it.
And it's such a tough case to get a guilty verdict on, really. You like
Yeah.
without a reasonable doubt, you got to believe that she killed him. There's what evidence is it? There's really hardly any evidence except for him falling on that shed with the blood splattering. Like it's so tough to convict her, no matter how hard the prosecutor tried. But it's tough. That's a tough case to lose.
Yeah.
What the fuck do I know? What do I know?
We're giving medical and legal advice with
Yeah.
Right.
a combined 0 degrees. Fighting
Hey, if
those
you're
fields.
listening, if you're listening, tell the pharmacist I said 25 milligrams tomorrow on the good stuff. Oh, I'll go. I'll say Marge. I thought Marge was great too.
Yeah.
She was very good in the movie.
Good call.
That's like everybody.
Yeah.
We hit on pretty much everything.
I liked Vincent's associate lawyer. I don't know what you would call her, but I don't
Partner,
know. I
I
just liked her.
guess. Yeah, she was good.
Paralegal. I don't know. Seemed like a lawyer. She was talking and stuff.
Hey, she knows more law than I do.
Yeah.
But I like we didn't talk about this scene, but I like when they're running through her testimony and like all the things that you need to clean up. But those are always great scenes in movies. You're like, don't say that. That makes you look guilty.
Yeah.
But that's part again, that's kind of what made me think that she's innocent, is like she's willing to give these details even if they make her look bad. Like if you have that guilty conscience and you're trying to get off, you wouldn't bring up things, or maybe you just don't think about it, I guess, in some ways. But like I said, I felt like she was so free with a lot of the information that it made me think that she had a clear conscience.
Yeah.
I think she felt guilty about the fights and stuff that they had, but not guilty that that she was the reason he died.
Was she doing that because she knew that she killed him? And this was the best way to do it?
Maybe she's a sociopath.
Yeah. Antoine thinks so.
He was good. Oh man, he was, again, second time through, knowing how it all played out. I really got to enjoy his performance, because like I would have hated him so much if she did get prosecuted and he was the reason. But knowing that she gets off, I was just free to enjoy that fucking sexy crew-cutted man.
Oh, please, no objections in that courtroom. They just let it flow freely.
It's kind of cool in a way that like you do get to rebut on the spot. Like even she gets to rebut on the spot and like put her 2 cents in and not let them build out this narrative. And then you have to wait to get her testimony, and you only get her testimony once at the end, and it's the cross-examination where she gets to give a little context to him like throwing this whole thing out there. So cool, but also seems like chaotic in a way.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I feel like there was times when it was like she was talking, both lawyers were talking, the judge was talking. It was like lock on.
I'll allow it. I'll
allow it. Yeah. No objection.
Just as once.
Yeah. So I forgot to bring this up before when we were talking about kind of the love interest between Vincent and Sandra, and just Sandra's character in general. And I brought up the point where she was like, are some of those things we taking as Americans, and just being like, oh, Vincent's flirty, but he's just like French. Like that's just kind of how French people are. And like we said about, I said earlier about how Sandra is just like very cold in some ways, but is that just because she's German? And if you're watching this movie as a European, you just kind of take those stereotypes or characteristics as like, these are just who these people are and who, what they act like.
I don't know, Lloyd. The French are assholes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a good question, but I don't know.
I felt like
we all look at it like from a different lens, I believe, but still, I don't know.
yeah. I felt like I clocked it like that they were gonna sleep together at least once, like early. And when they didn't, I was a little surprised. And then I saw that they had a scene, but they got rid of it.
Good. That's just lazy. That's lazy. I
Oh,
hate
it
that.
would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just lazy filmmaking. I can't. I'm glad that they didn't do that. It's so stupid. It would have ruined it for me.
Me too. But I wonder if there was like a little bit of that left over in the script to kind of just like be a little foreshadowing for that. That's like my favorite activity when I'm watching a movie or show. It'd be like, oh, they're fucking like in like 2 seconds.
Well, I was going to say too, like, I think I almost even felt like the scene in the restaurant where she has her hands on his face was almost a little too much. I'm glad like it didn't go past that. But even that, I was like, I don't know if I need that. Like her husband just died. If she really
Understand.
does care about him the way she says she does, even if she may have had feelings for Vincent in the past, like she wouldn't. It's too soon,
Right.
and I don't think she would even then she would have jumped on him. Even with her. Oh, and this is another point we could talk about if we want to go another 5-10 minutes. How do we feel about her? I guess we'll call it promiscuity, and the
Oh,
fact
because
that
you're
she
throwing it.
she
Go
had
ahead, sorry.
cheated a couple times, or and again, sorry to hijack a little bit here, but like when she says she didn't cheat on him when they first had the accident because he knew, but also that the relationship wasn't open. She kind of trickle reveals things a little bit and like tries to make herself not look as bad. And I get it why, with the fights and stuff, but that kind of shitty things that she did. Again, not saying she's guilty of murder because of it, but there are some things about her that are not great.
Agree.
Yeah, that was the thing that bugged me because I feel like her character wasn't super duper good. You already know how I feel in Infidelity. I hate it. I think it's stupid. He should have left, obviously, but that's easier said than done and easier for me to say. There is a blind kid in the house, and who knows what's going to happen if he's left with her. So yeah, but still, that infidelity type thing, and really kind of pissed me off. And he has the right to feel that way, and he's always going to feel that way. So why continue a relationship? But hey. I can't speak on that or say what I would do because I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like it's obviously something that's unforgivable in a lot of ways, but it's a very extreme situation that they were in. Like a very traumatic event that happened with the child. Their relationship becomes sexless because of it. Like he's just in his own world. And I think in a way, he's like, okay, well, she's not getting it from me and I'm not ready. And she goes out and does it. He's almost like, I kind of get it in a way,
Yeah.
but I think the fact that she did it once as like but she, like I said, she told him right away. But the fact that she hit it, I don't know. It's very weird. It's very like, and again, like it's such an extreme situation. Um, do you think, again, another thing that she says, she cheated twice with the same woman, but she only counted it as cheating once? What do we think about that? Is that once or is that twice?
That's pretty fuzzy.
It's
How close
twice.
are we? How close are we
Once is
talking?
once is once, and twice is twice. Doesn't matter if it's with one person or two people.
Yeah, yeah. You're establishing a pattern at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
I,
once you could almost say, it was lust, it was spur of the moment, but you intentionally went back and did it again
yeah.
right.
with that person.
You
So
didn't
there's,
feel guilty enough to not do it again.
yeah, and not only that, but like there was something specifically about that person that made you want to go back to that person, not just somebody else. If it was purely sexual, like she said, then it would have probably been one and done. I don't know.
I don't know. And then you could say, like, well, he clearly was hurt by it because he brought it up in the fight, even though she's claiming that he knew about it, so it was cool. But in a fight like that, he was just trying to, like, I'm better than you because you're a cheater. Like, so you could make that argument too, where it's like, well, he didn't actually care, but he was just trying to throw fucking anything at her that would make him win the fight.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. I thought that for literally not getting any real-time interaction between the two of them, like he's just dead in the beginning of the movie. There's no their relationship is so well built out that you could like, you could just talk about like how dynamic that relationship is. So just very like we said, very well done. The writing is just so good, the dialogue is so good, the characters are so good. Just fantastic.
Yeah. Um, Anything else about Anatomy of a Fall?
I feel like I say this a lot at the end of every episode, but glad we watched it. fun to talk about. Very fun to talk about this one. There's a lot going on.
Oh yeah, she did it.
Not moved.
No, even though the no blood up in the attic is definitely 100% proven that she didn't do it.
And just the fact that she would have had to flip him over, that, it's not like it was a short wall where he could have, she could have just hit him and he flipped over it. Like, he had to be like lifted over that thing. So to get him over it, to get him hanging over it, hit him with the thing, and then, to me, it doesn't add up.
Oh, so now you're a criminologist. Must be nice.
Listen, I'm just saying that second blood spatter analysis was so good. I was 100% bought in. She's acted it out. She's got the flair with her arms and stuff.
Yeah. What did he say, the prosecutor, at the end of that testimony? And she's like, because he was just being such a dick that he didn't care.
He's kept being like, but not impossible.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or whatever, the opposite of that, but
Improbable.
basically saying like it was possible technically, and she was just like,
yeah, she's
well,
like,
yeah,
that's what I said the
anything's
whole time.
possible.
Yeah.
That was a good
Because
scene.
even the accident or suicide is murky. Like the fact that, and she showed the snow melting, so that seems plausible, but it's still murky. Like there's no specific evidence that's like this is exactly what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously, it's done that way because it's a movie and that's how they want it to look. But I mean, based on the facts, like if you think about it, in that situation where literally nobody is around, there's 3 situations that could have happened. And oh, thank you. I'm glad we went this long because I wanted to pull out the quote that when they're talking about on that TV show, it's like the 2 pundits or whatever. And I think one of them is the actual director, where she's like, yeah, it could have been a suicide or it could have been an accident or whatever, but isn't it so much more intriguing if she did it? And it's like that's kind of the whole situation here, is that what's more sexy or what's more intriguing of a case is like that she did it. There's this big fight and then she ends up killing him. So, it's kind of one of those meta comments in the movie that it just tells you everything you need to know about these situations.
Book sales probably went through the roof after
Oh,
that.
you
Forget about
kidding
it.
me? If Samuel could have just gotten out one of those books, man, that thing would have been a Mondo
Blockbuster.
bestseller. Yeah.
Yeah. We'd be talking about My Life as a PIMP
Oh, please.
as a film. Yeah, super. This was, I think, one of the funnest to talk about that we've done recently. So I'm glad we did it.
Can you think of another movie? I mean, just off the top of your head, we don't have to sit here and talk about it forever, but another movie that's so ambiguous at the end with like a whodunit, or did it happen or did it not happen? Just off the top of your head. If not, we can move on.
I know there's a couple. I mean, I guess maybe Inception, the very, very end. It's, ambiguous
Was
whether he's in real life or not, but this ambiguous? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't know. It's a tough question. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I think this is one of the funnest to look back and discuss with people.
Yeah. Should we do ambiguous week next week?
Ambiguity.
There's
The week of ambiguity.
a couple good choices.
Clue 2,
Please,
but clue
please.
3.
Who done it? Colonel Mustard.
We should watch Clue.
Spaghetti.
You say with the spaghetti?
Yeah. Joking
Cooked
with
or
the spaghetti.
uncooked?
Oh, cooked.
Yeah.
It's not al dente. It's loosey goosey. And you just
And then boom, just eat the
Boom.
evidence.
That's it. That's it. I don't know.
I didn't see any spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Jokes and jokes.
Doodaloo, doodaloo, doo. Okay, anyway. anything else about Anatomy of a Fall?
No, great movie.
All right. Well, then we appreciate you being with us. Again, send us some messages, please. We love you, Robbie. Tell him good night.
Good night, Snoop.
My wife said no.
Good night, 50.
I said no. Let the boy
it.
watch.
There's no other
Let the
rappers in this
boy
movie.
watch. He needs to learn the way I learned from my father. The way he learned from his father. Let